Hi, grade 9. Are you fine? Today we are going to see the composition of our food and to classify the food as mineral and organic, and how to see or to make identification test of the material or substances present in our food in order to classify this food as organic and mineral. Okay, at first let's memorize a little bit. Food, our food is made up of mineral food and organic food. The mineral food constituted of water and of mineral salts. Water and mineral salts, this is the mineral food. Organic food is made of sugars, proteins, lipids, and also vitamins. Okay, this is the organic, this is the mineral food. Food and identification test. This food is identified by an experiment, by many experiments that occur in laboratory. First, let's begin with the mineral food in order to identify the composition of our food that we eat. First test, identification test of water. We take a piece of bread in order to identify the presence of water in it. We take a piece of bread and we put it inside a test tube and we heat it. After a little time, we observe that water droplets. Okay, this is the piece of bread. We observe some water droplets on the extremity of the tube and a black soot in the bottom of the tube. Like this, we can show that bread contains water. This is the identification test of water, the presence of water in bread, and we can make an experiment for all the kinds of food. Second test, for mineral salt, we are testing the presence of chloride, which is a salt, in a bread solution. How can we obtain a bread solution? We take a piece of bread and we dip it in a test tube with a little amount of water, of distilled water. Okay, we shake them, we obtain a solution of bread. Okay, so we add some silver nitrate AgNO3. The result will be formation of silver chloride of white color. So bread contains mineral salt chloride because of the combination of chloride with silver, which gives white precipitate, and showing the presence of mineral salt. This is the part concerning mineral salts. Let's see the other part concerning organic food. Organic food, as we said previously, it's made up of sugars. Sugars are the main constituents of sugar, made up of three elements, C, H, and O. It's an energetic food. It is classified into three classes: simple sugars, made up of one unit of sugar, the monosaccharides; double sugar, such as glucose, fructose, and galactose. Okay. Double sugar, made up of two units of sugar, sucrose, maltose, and lactose. Look at the disaccharide. Each one of them is made of glucose and another sugar. For example, sucrose, glucose and fructose; maltose, glucose and glucose; lactose made up of glucose and galactose. The third class of sugars is the complex sugars such as starch, glycogen and cellulose. Starch is we can find it in bread, in banana, in rice. Identification test for the presence of sugar by using filling solution. We take a tube, we put in it a slice of an apple, and we add filling solution. In order to show the presence of sugar in the apple, the color of filling solution should be turned after heating. Okay, we must heat it. The color should be turned into brick red. Okay, the blue color turned into brick red. So the apple contains what? Contains reducing sugar. Okay, another type of organic food. Excuse me, another test, iodine test for the presence of starch. We take a piece of bread, okay, and we drop some drops of iodine water. Look at the color of initial iodine water. It turns dark blue, indicating the presence of starch. So, if there is starch, the color will be dark blue. This is the identification test of starch. So, bread contains starch. Now, let's see another constituent of organic food, which is the protein. Protein or protein are made up of four elements, C, H, O, and N. We can find the protein in meat, milk, and eggs. Proteins are the building up food. A classification of protein. Protein is classified into three categories or classes. Amino acids, which are 20 types. Proteins, which are or peptide, which is a simple chain of amino acid. Okay. 3 proteins, complex chain of amino acid. Each protein is identified or characterized by the number, the kind, and the sequence of amino acids. Like this, we can identify a protein. Let's see the identification test of protein. First identification test is the coagulation test made for proteins. Add 3 milliliters of egg white into a test tube and heat them up. The result will be, after heating, coagulation of the content of the tube. This indicates that it contains protein. So, egg white contains what? It contains protein. This is the first identification test for protein. Another test is the Biotest test. Okay, we take a test tube, place a piece of meat with a solution of copper sulfate, CuSO4, and add sodium hydroxide. Okay, piece of meat, copper sulfate, and sodium hydroxide. The result will be violet ring. The presence of violet ring, this violet ring, indicating that meat contains protein. So the meat contains protein. Okay, these two identification tests are for protein. Let's see now another type, the lipid of organic food, made up of 3 elements, C, H, and O. It's an energetic food. We can find it in oil, in butter, and in cheese. Its composition, each molecule of lipid is made up of 3 fatty acids and 1 glycerol. The identification test is so easy. We put or rub some food containing lipid, such as cheese. A translucent spot is appeared. This indicates that this food contains lipid. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching and goodbye.